In the next stage of these tutorials, we'll look at how to create particular events that are going on in your school that you might want to do almost as a bulk entry rather than having to add individual staff in. It also works for adding future events. So in the Daily Organiser module, go down to the Student Calendar Activities section to Student Activities. In here, you can add any activity that's going to involve students and staff. It's particularly good where it's class-based, whether it be a subject class or a role class, because that's generally the way the program is looking for students. You start off by giving an activity name, and that will automatically generate an activity code. If you've got a similar activity name that already exists, it will add usually a number to the end of the code, and it will shorten it if your activity name is too long. Select the start and end date, got those here, and your start period and end period. Now this can be across multiple days. So for example, I could choose one for next week and just make sure that my timetable day is correct, and it'll ask me just to make sure of that. Again, not so bad if it's a 5-day timetable, but it gets more complicated with more than 5 days. Check your start period and end period, so before school and after school, or however you've got your timetable periods set up. This drop-down menu will vary based on how you've got everything in your timetable. If you want to make the teachers absent, so for example the students are going out on an excursion off campus or a camp or something like that, then definitely make the teachers absent, because that will then translate across into the absences section anyway. It may be an event that a class is running that the teacher is going to be with the class, so the teacher is scheduled for that class, will be taking them anyway. In that case you may choose not to, but it's probably worth having them if it's going over more than one period. Again, teacher absence codes, whatever you may need to mark down for that. And then we can go and select and edit the teachers. You can select individually, or you can bulk select for large numbers. That will show up all of those in there. If you need additional teachers, for example, for an outdoor ed camp or something like that, where you know you're going to need a higher ratio, or if you've got other supervising staff or so on, you can add those in here, and they will appear in the teacher replacements screen further down where you would do your extras, and then you can allocate those on an as needs basis. If you need a room, tick on the room box. For example, if you need to book the gym or a particular large space or something like that, and you can go and do that, and that will block that room out from the timetable for that day. Role classes on activity, we'll go through this way. It can be a little bit more complicated if you've got smaller classes or subgroups of students going out, because it's looking generally at the role classes. Once you do this, you can also choose whether you want to cancel the lessons. If it's a teacher going out with one class and it's only going for a couple of periods or something, or it's an incursion, then you don't really need to do that, because it also can get a bit complicated. It's then linking the make teachers absent with the cancelling lessons. If you're going to cancel the lesson, generally make the teacher absent as well, otherwise the students will disappear, but it will leave that teacher available to do a replacement. Which may be the case if that teacher is not actually going with them on the excursion or whatever it is. So again, needing to be careful whether you're choosing role classes or cancel lessons not in a multi-role class group. Generally I'll do it to cancel all lessons, and then I'll go back and check. It does become a bit of an issue when you've got classes getting cancelled that are part of the multi-role class groups with students overlapping. But generally I'll want to cancel those classes. So I'll just do that option there, and again, lesson cancellation code, yes to go no camp. I'll just fix it up on the other one. There's some overlap going there, that's okay. I'll just take a second to click through this. And I've now got that activity listed here at the end of my list. With my start date, my end date, the teachers involved, the reason, and the classes that are involved. So that will also translate into the teacher's absence screen and into the allocate teacher replacement screen, so that whenever that event comes up, you go into that day's replacements and all of those absences will be there.